After some huge bearish days, Bitcoin is now finding a little bit of support around this level, and in this video I'm going to tell you exactly where I will buy my Bitcoin next. I will reveal my price targets for Bitcoin in the coming days, because I think we could have seen Bitcoin bottoming out already. There's also a lot of interesting data coming in for the Bitcoin and the Ethereum ETFs, and there's also a lot of interesting other data and news coming into the market, which I will show with you later in the video. I will also have a look at the two altcoins, Cardano and the XRP, so you want to watch this video all the way to the end to be updated about the markets. Please slap up that like button because it will help this channel a lot, and let's dive right into the charts. Yesterday we saw a huge bearish day unfolding for Bitcoin, and this was having of course a little bit of panic reaction into the market. And yesterday in my video I was talking about this huge potential retest of this previous resistance to turn it into support, and we are now finding support around this level, so this is looking very bullish, and we can also already see a little bit of a separation from this support level. So let's see if Bitcoin can separate itself today from this level and create more topside. But of course there's also a little bit of a bearish scenario possible, and that we're going to break below this level, and then we will see a retest of the previous support to test it as resistance. And if we're going to break below this level and we're seeing a bearish retest, you can enter the market in a short, and then you can aim for lower targets, and then we will see a little bit of a downtrend in the shorter time frame for Bitcoin. But however, we are now seeing this bullish bounce from the support level, so in the coming hours we could possibly see more topside for Bitcoin. And last week Bitcoin was unfolding this huge bearish divergence because we saw higher highs on the charts and lower highs on the RSI, and this indicated a little bit of a bearish move which was unfolding after we saw it. So this bearish divergence has now played out, but we now can see a little bit of a bullish divergence unfolding because we can see higher lows on the chart, and on the RSIs we can see lower lows. So this indicates that the selling pressure is cooling off and that we could see a little bit of a bullish move after. So when this bullish move is going to play out, then this bullish divergence will play out, and this could be the next move for Bitcoin in the coming days. But however, this bullish divergence could also be invalidated if Bitcoin is going to see lower levels and the RSI will drop eventually as well. And yesterday the Bitcoin ETFs had a little bit of a bearish day. We saw a total net outflow of $122.8 million, and this was all because Grayscale was selling and also Fidelity was selling. And a lot of ETFs weren't even buying anything or selling anything, so this is a little bit of a mixed day. And eventually we are now seeing a little bit of a downside for this total cumulative inflow. But however, I think we will see more bullish numbers in the coming weeks. So keep in mind that we are still above the $30 billion of total net inflow. So this ETF is also the most successful ETF in the history ever of ETFs. And if we then have a look at the Ethereum ETFs, we can see a total inflow of $40.6 million of inflows, and that's bullish of course. And this was all because BlackRock was buying, and we can see Grayscale was selling, but also there also other ETF is buying. So this is having a little bit of a bullish effect on the price of Ethereum, and it looks like that the money is shifting from Bitcoin to Ethereum a little bit. And if we then look at the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin is creating this huge pattern. We are creating resistance on the top side, and we also see a lot of touch points here on the lower side as support. So eventually the price of Bitcoin is getting squeezed into this apex, and we will most likely see a huge break before we reach the apex. So of course it could be a bullish break, then a retest of the resistance as support, and then we can see more bullish continuation. But of course there could also be a bearish break possible, and that we're going to see a break of the support, a retest of this support to test it as a resistance, and then we can aim for lower targets. So these are the two scenarios for Bitcoin that could occur in the coming days when this pattern is going to break out. But for now we are seeing this huge bounce to the top side from this huge support level, so this is looking very bullish. So let's see if Bitcoin can come back to this resistance area and maybe force a break to the top side. And if we have a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can see there are a lot of shorts happening here around the $100,000, and this would be the level to gain of course. So if for instance Bitcoin is going to break to the $100,000, we will see a lot of shorts getting liquidated, and this of course will be very bullish for the price because all those shorts will come into the market again and they will pump up the price for even more for Bitcoin. So I believe that if Bitcoin is going to shoot to the $100,000, we will see that exponential pump to the top side. But for now we are at the $93,000, and we can see there's not a lot of liquidity above this level. So this biggest level around the $100,000 is the level to break. And if Bitcoin is going to come back to this level, we will most likely see a huge interaction of this price level, because we could also see a little bit of a rejection. But as I said, if Bitcoin is going to break above the $100,000 and we're going to see these liquidations coming into the market, then we will see most likely a godly candle to the $110,000. And if we then zoom out to the daily time frame, we can see Bitcoin is in this huge uptrend with higher highs and higher lows, and this is looking exponential. And last week we saw Bitcoin create this higher high, and Bitcoin is now looking for that higher low play, and that could of course be here. So I'm buying more Bitcoin, and especially as I was saying, this is also a very important retest of the previous resistance as support. And if we have a look at lower levels, we can also see that there are a lot of important levels, and I think this is a very important level, and also this is a very important level. So if we're going lower, for instance, to these levels, I am going to buy more Bitcoin into the market, because I think this is a very interesting level, and especially this $76,000 is a very interesting level, because we still have a CME gap open there from 2 weeks ago. So if, for instance, Bitcoin is going to the $76,000 again, I'm going to buy more Bitcoin for the long term. So Bitcoin has now created this higher high, and we have to see where Bitcoin is going to create this higher low play. And this higher low play can be higher than this level, because then we will still be in a huge uptrend. So for instance, Bitcoin can come back to all the way to this level, create a higher low, and then the next exponential move to the top side again. But of course, we don't want to go too low, because a lot of people will panic then. And I think this could also be a very interesting higher low play for Bitcoin. And also on the daily chart, we can see Bitcoin is in this huge parabolic uptrend. We can see every time higher lows and higher highs, and with the last move was a huge parabolic spike to the top side. We're now coming back to the support of this parabolic uptrend. So as I was saying, if Bitcoin is coming back to this support area, I'm going to buy more Bitcoin, and that is exactly what I did. My orders got hit around this level, so this was around the $91,000, and we're now seeing already a little bit of a spike to the top side, so this is looking very bullish. And if Bitcoin can separate itself from this huge support area, we could potentially see that next spike to the top side. But of course, Bitcoin could also break this downtrend, and that we have to go to aim for lower levels. But for now, we are seeing a separation of this support level, which is looking very bullish. And I've been warning you about this potential retest of the support in my earlier videos, so you could have been warned. And now I'm waiting for this next exponential move to the top side. And of course, we all want to see that $100,000 getting reached, and eventually we will also be breaking it. So if Bitcoin is going to break the $100,000, I think we will see this godly candle towards the $110,000 and $120,000. And if we have a look at Google Trends, we can see that the Bitcoin search term is spiking to the top side. Overall in the world, in the past 5 years, we can see a little bit of a decline of the search term for Bitcoin. So we're now seeing the spike to the top side. So this means that retail is coming back a little bit already. But of course, we want to see those exponential highs, just like we saw in the last bull run. And if we have a look at the search term of altcoins, we can also see that spike to the top side again, because a lot of people in retail are most likely going to put in their money into altcoins. So I think we will see more exponential highs for this search term, and this is of course very bullish, because retail will return to the market. And if more retail is into the market, it means that we will see higher pumps for Bitcoin, but also of course altcoins. And if we zoom all the way out to the monthly time frame, we can see Bitcoin broke out of this huge consolidation formation. We saw this huge consolidation formation was unfolding for the last 8 months. In October, we finally broke out bullish, and November is even more bullish. And this month of November is very bullish, because this could be the biggest candle for Bitcoin ever in the history of Bitcoin. And we are now up for more than $23,000. So this is the biggest candle for Bitcoin ever in 1 month. And let's see where the month of November will end, because there are still a couple days left for the month of November. So for instance, if we're going to close above this level, it will of course also be the highest monthly close ever, and that is also very bullish. So in the last few months, I was discussing this huge formation for Bitcoin, and in hindsight it's looking very bullish, because we can see these previous highs getting reached at the previous cycle. Then we broke above it, we retested this as support, and from here I was saying that you could enter the market again on this retest, because the resistance was being turned into support, and from there we saw that spike to the top side. So Congratulations if you took this trade together with me, because we were all entering the market from this lower levels around below the $60,000, and we could already made more than an increase of 60% on this bullish Bitcoin trade. So congratulations if you took the trade together with me. And the first interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is XRP. We can see that XRP was in this huge weekly consolidation for the last 155 weeks, and this I think is the longest consolidation ever I've seen in crypto. We're now coming closer to this previous all-time high, and this is at the weekly chart. And if we have a look at the 4-hour time frame for XRP, we can see that XRP finally broke out and made this bullish run up. We saw a consolidation happening, then we saw a bullish break again. And this week we are now already consolidation inside of this falling wedge formation, and this is also a typical bullish biased pattern. So we could see a beautiful break to the top side again, and then a continuation of the bullish momentum. But we can also see a little bit of a diminishing highs. So of course we could also see a bearish scenario possible, and that we're going to see a break of this falling wedge formation, and then we have to aim for lower targets. But of course we all want to see this bullish break happening, and that we're going to aim for new highs. And if we then zoom out to the weekly time frame, we can see that XRP is close to this previous all-time high. And the previous all-time high was almost at the $2. So we're now at the $1.51. So we could also see this beautiful target getting reached in the coming weeks. And let me know in the comments what you think about XRP. Are we going to reach this all-time high before the end of 2024, or are we going to see it in 2025? And the next interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Cardano. We can see Cardano on the weekly time frame broke a lot of interesting resistance levels. We came all the way from these lows, and we pumped through these previous resistance areas, and now being turned into support every time. So this is looking very beautiful. But this weekly resistance is a little bit too strong for now, so we could also potentially see a little bit of a throwback to test lower levels as support, because this previous resistance was broken but it hasn't been tested as support. And if Cardano is coming back to this level, I'm going to buy more Cardano for the long term, because I think we will see a bullish retest, and then we will gain the next level, and then we will see more bullish continuation to the top side. And Cardano is now in this beautiful uptrend, and we separated ourselves from these bear market lows. So from this level we are already up for 212%, so this is insane of course. So let's see if Cardano can also push through this level, but we could also see a little bit of a throwback, as I was saying, to test lower levels as support. So this was it for today. Please leave a like if you think the video was useful. Don't forget to follow me on my other socials, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.